Good morning, everyone. My name is Nachum Siegel, and it is a great pleasure to welcome all of you to the Boro Park Shomrim Command Center ribbon cutting event. Thank you very much for being here today. Everybody here, of course, already knows why this is such a significant event, but if you don't mind, I will put in my 2 cents as well. The Boro Park Shomrim, if every single person in this neighborhood, in this community, could be here today to say thank you to the Boro Park Shomrim, that if they had that opportunity, they would take advantage of it. Everybody, all the residents, the businesses, the families, they all feel the amazing and incredible protection and safety because groups like Shomrim exist. And today, we are here to participate in a significant event that will make their job more professional, easier on the members, and more beneficial for the community. We all know how this started. Everybody's familiar with the story. The bakery boys, about a quarter of a century ago, who spent their time very, very early in the morning not only making deliveries and checking out what was happening in the neighborhood, but stopping crime and vandalism and being there for people at the most important time of the day when it comes to crime and vandalism, when the bad guys think they have an opportunity to strike. And they would go around to different food establishments and restaurants and different businesses, and they would stop the bad guys. They would go ahead and in as organized a fashion as possible, try their hardest to put a stop to crime. Since that time, Shomrim in this area has grown into a well-organized, professionally trained unit of 110 members. Again, the appreciation and the thanks for every one of these members cannot be overstated. They take time day and night to be there for the community, and their help and their dedication is most graciously appreciated. We've gotten to the point now where they work very, very closely with the NYPD. Thank you to our friends at the NYPD. They are recognized by government groups and city officials as a legitimate and professional operation. They have an emergency hotline number which is dispatched 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. If someone in the community needs help, they are there for them. There's a list here in front of me of 6 people who are known in this community as the Shomrim coordinators. I'm going to thank them and ask you to hold your applause until the end of this distinguished list. We thank Simcha Bernath, Jacob Daskov, Mark Katz, Sam Coleman, Abe Katzow, and Shia Lichtenstein. Thank you very much. I also want to thank Moshe Reifberg, who asked me to be here today, and for all his help with this event. What's the purpose of a mobile command center? This is something I'm sure that some of our other speakers will address as well, but in short, for those of you who observed it and for those of you who have not, it is a full communication dispatch system. It has everything to the latest detail, including a copier machine and fax machine, has its own conference room. It's used for searches, for public events, and of course, it's always at the ready, which means when the community needs something at a moment's notice, the command center is going to be ready to roll. We all know about searches. My family certainly has been affected by many groups who participated in the search for my father, including the Shomrim group right here at Boro Park. We of course know about the many high-profile cases and other cases as well in the community where Shomrim has been there to go to the utmost to make the greatest effort to find the person who is missing. And now they participate in searches with other groups that sometimes involve ATVs, jet skis, helicopters, and whatever means are necessary to help find that person. And now, with the population in this area and every area getting older, one of the biggest problems that has to be dealt with is when Alzheimer's patients drift off and cannot be found. And you can imagine that with the population getting older and with the problem getting more severe, this is only, unfortunately, this problem is only going to grow, and the services of Shomrim in this area are going to be needed even more. We have a distinguished panel of speakers this morning, and folks who are going to be presenting our honorees with their awards today. I ask you first give your attention to New York State Senator Eric Adams.
Good morning. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank the members of the Shomrim group and Patrol. You know how I feel about you. For so many years, I've come out. We were able to purchase a vest for you over the last year or a year and a half ago, and you know we all appreciate what you do, and it's an awesome amount of pressure that goes with this job. And I remember several years ago walking into a jewelry store, and over the display case it stated, "No pressure, no diamond." And you are a diamond of an organization, and the pressure that comes with this job shows how important it is. And I recall when several of your members were shot over last year as well, in the security operation of looking for a lost child. We could go on and on and on. Many of the headlines are not in this community because you are out there every day doing a great job in partnership with the law enforcement officers that patrol the streets of the city of New York. And so I thank you. I'm sure the city thanks you. I'm sure those countless number of men and women who are the benefit of what you do, thank you. And if we can just take this patrol and duplicate it throughout the entire city, we will see a greater impact than what we've witnessed already about the issue of crime. We will see it throughout the city. So continue doing the great things you do, and I thank you for that.
Come in, Brad Lander.
Thank you so much. Really my honor to be here today. What the Shomrim do in terms of keeping safety in my community, in Boro Park, in Kensington, is extraordinary, in partnership with the NYPD and our fantastic Inspector John Sprague from the 6th and all of the officers who work under his command. That partnership is what keeps so many people safe. And I'm not going to go on and on, but you know that what's made happen by those 110 Shomrim volunteers, they're every day willing to come on a moment's notice, willing to put themselves in harm's way, and working closely with the community, with the NYPD, with elected officials. I want to say a big, big thank you to the coordinators. I want to say how honored I am to be your partner and to work with you to keep public safety on the ground. I do also want to give a quick plug. Next Sunday morning, I hope everyone will come to Beis Yaakov and vote for the first time in our participatory budgeting process. One thing that's on the ballot is making 50th Street from a roller coaster back into a road. So if you'd like to see 50th Street get repaved or any of the other 20 projects, I have the sample ballot if you want to come see it. You got to come out next Sunday. It works like this. I don't make the decisions this year. You make the decisions. So if enough people come out and vote to repave 50, there's 20 projects on the ballot. Probably 6, 7, 8 of them are getting voted on. If enough come out to vote, then 50th Street gets repaved. If enough people don't come out to vote, then some trees get planted in Park Slope. So get your neighbors, get your friends, come out and vote next Sunday at Beis Yaakov. The hours are on this green sheet. But again, most important to today, Mazel Tov to the Shomrim on this new mobile command center, and thanks for everything you do to keep our community safe.
Thank you, Councilman. Want to acknowledge and thank from the office of the Brooklyn Borough President, John Paul Lupo's here today. Thank you very much for being here. And our best to Marty, of course. And now we get an opportunity to hear from one of the coordinators of Borough Park Shomrim. Please welcome Yanki Daskal.
Good morning, everyone. And I want to thank everybody for showing up. It is an honor and a privilege to meet with you, with everyone today. And I'm delighted to have you all participate in this event. Before we begin, I would like to share a story with you. I learned that from Jack Meyer, that before we start talking, we share a story. The story is going to give you the essence of what Shomrim organization is all about. As a group of God-fearing people, all of us are firmly believe in Hashem, God. God is our shepherd, leading His path and protecting us from all evil in His vein. I'd like to tell you about a righteous man, a righteous individual who lived his life trusting his life and his safety to God. One day, a terrible storm came into the man's town. The local officials and the emergency people gave out a warning that the riverbank would soon crest and would overflow, and it's going to flood the town. So everybody in the nearby homes were asked to evacuate, and evacuate immediately. Our faithful friend heard the warning, and he said, well, I trust in God. Nothing is going to happen to me. I can stay in my house. God will save me. The neighbors came by and told him that they are leaving, and everybody should leave, and they have room in his car. They should come. The man declined. He said, I have faith in God and Hashem. He will save me. As the man stood on his porch, watching the river rise, another man came by with a canoe and said, come on in. We have room for you. We have to leave. The man said, no, I'm staying. I have faith in God. God will help me. The water went up to the second floor. Somebody came with a motorboat. Says, get in. He said, I have faith in God. Nothing is going to happen. And so forth, the water rose, and it came to the roof, and then the helicopter came by with a ladder. And the guy says, hang on to it. I'll take you away. And as you understand, the water rose above the house, and it went higher and higher, and the house was demolished, and the man drowned. He came up to the heaven and stood before God, and he says to God, I put all my faith in you, and here I drowned. What happened? God answered, my child, I sent you first a warning. I sent you a car, I sent you a canoe, I sent you a motorboat, I sent you a helicopter, and you didn't want to take it. He said, and then you're asking me what happened? Well, God is our protector, but He has many ways that He protects the people. We have the police department, the best. There are some who criticize the way our commissioner handles cases, but he doesn't mean himself, he means the community. He really, when he does something, he means to protect the city, especially us, which we are so need the protection. So, as you know, Shomrim is part of what God sent to, and what we're doing is actually helping Him. We're a hand from Him. As you all know, Shomrim started a small group of people, being the eyes, ears of the police department, watching our community be safe. Today, our small group grew to the largest volunteer security and watch group in the city. We are not only the 911 for the community, we are also the 311 for the community. We're getting calls for everything that you can only think of. Missing Alzheimer's patients, missing children, domestic violence, and any other type of questions. And what we do with all these calls, we just give it over to other organizations. We know which organization belongs to which call. But the calls actually come in first to Shomrim. This is the only organization which helps young and old, rich or poor, healthy or ill. No matter what religion it is, we are there The only thing we don't do is medical. We don't get we don't do anything medical. In our organization, which is actually outside our organization, we have some leaders. One of them, our biggest leader that we call upon every single time when something happens, except we call to our Rabbanim, our command center, made possible for so many friends here to acknowledge and publicly thank for serving, protecting our community. You are all God's messages to our people. I want especially our Inspector Sprague to thank him. He's been always close to us. Whenever we need him, and I know it's at night too, I've reached out to him at night already, and during his hours when he's home with the family, he's always answering if anything is necessary for the community and especially for us. And my good old friend, Inspector Bob Turslin, Inspector Scholl and his group, Lieutenant Woods, Sergeant Yitzi, there's many more. I also have to thank to Spoons, Unit 70, providing us our 80, I'm sorry, Unit 80. I downgraded you. You're out. And at least I have to thank to all the police officers who are behind the 911 when they get the calls from us, the personnel from 311, and all the community representatives. We hope to be granted the opportunity to work together seamlessly and successfully for many more and for many crime-free, danger-free, and storm-free years to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I was asked to as well thank those responsible for this wonderful breakfast. And again, thank you to Spoons. That would be Unit 80. I'm learning the new Shomrim language for me. Weiss's Bakery, and that would be Unit 50. There you go. Thank you. And Zamek's Bakery, that would be Unit 99. Is it 99? Thank you very much. Also, a special thank you to the event directors. The event directors today are Unit 48 and Unit 93. That would be, I see everybody knows who they are already. That would be Shmuley Fullman and Ari Weiss. Thank you for all your help in coordinating today's event. Also, a special thank you to Williamsburg coordinators Yankee Itzkowitz, Zalman Leigh Feldman, and Shragi Shapiro. And to Flatbush coordinator Naftali Rosenberg. Thank you very, very much. And now the aforementioned commanding officer of the 66th Precinct. Please welcome Deputy Inspector John Sprague.
Thank you. Hold on, let me, there we go. Just brief words. Thank you, Simka. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you for having me here today. Congratulations on getting your mobile command post. It really is a big deal. It's going to be widely used as we could use it in the past sometimes instead of borrowing it from other Shomrim. But I wanted to say a word. Everyone's talking about communication and partnerships. And I think the model that we have here, as someone mentioned before, is pretty incredible. Rarely do you see community organizations such as Shomrim and the police department work so closely, and it's a true partnership. We don't mince words. We don't go it alone. The police department doesn't go alone. We don't work independently in the community and just go about our business. If we don't have the fostering of the relationship and the building of the relationship with such organizations, it's not successful. And if we could duplicate this in other areas, they would see how successful we are, and to mirror that into other areas would be fantastic. I thank you for your partnership, your friendship, and congratulations, especially all the Shomrim members here. Guys, thanks for everything you do. I know you're out there day and night helping us, giving us a hand, and I thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now to present an award and honor a very special friend. Please welcome a good friend of the Shomrim organization, New York City Controller, John Liu.
Yes, Malcolm, it's a hazard having bagels right before you get called up. Like my mom said, take smaller bites. I'll have to heed that advice next time. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Thank you very much, Malcolm, for bringing me up here, and it's really an honor to join Senator Adams and Councilmember Lander, all the elected officials, representatives, and our New York's finest and community leaders. Okay, no more bagel. To take part in this very happy occasion, an occasion that I know has been in the works for quite some time now, and an occasion that really helps celebrate and brings forward the work of this great organization, the Boro Park Shomrim, as with other Shomrims in Brooklyn and throughout, do work that is invaluable to our communities. And I certainly want to share with everybody my thanks for Yankee Dusko and all the members that he coordinates. I think he put it so well that that God sends help in many different ways. And when you have the NYPD out there in full force, protecting people, life, property, family, friends, day and night, they really are a true godsend. And to supplement what they are able to do and to help foster community relations, the Shomrim patrols are invaluable in achieving that kind of goal, which is ultimately helpful to everybody in the community and society at large. And I see we're also here joined by Congressman Jerry Nadler. Thank you very much for being here, Congressman. I have the privilege of presenting an award to somebody who was instrumental in putting this facility together, and to help introduce him, I have to say that he needs no introduction from me. He's been a part of this community, a leader for a long time, and a council member for 8 years, during which I served alongside him in the city council. And then when I got a chance to go over to the controller's office, he was ready, willing, and able to come with me to make sure that the finances of the city of New York are kept in good order. And I can't believe that now I have a chance to present him with an honor. And we're, of course, joined by our own Dov Hyken, State Assembly member. Right in front of us. So it gives me great pleasure to should I bring to bring Simcha up and
Standing
there, I know.
our beloved council member here, and now Deputy Controller. He's the one that actually controls all the money. The Deputy Controller for Accountancy keeps track of all the accounts, pays all the bills, close to $70 billion worth a year now. I think this is getting more requests. So it's my privilege on behalf of Shomrim Borough Park and here in Brooklyn South to present this appreciation award to the Honorable Simcha Felder. The Borough Park Shomrim would like to express our appreciation towards your outstanding devotion to recognize the importance of a command center. Therefore, the difference it will make for the Borough Park Shomrim organization and to the Borough Park community. Community, outstanding, innovation, meaningful, appreciation, nice, dedication. Command. This 25th day of March, 2012. Thank you, Simcha, for everything you do for the community and for the city.
That's it.
Speech.
Tell us what's
And so now, don't go away, Senator. Let's hear a few words from Mulder, and before I pass the mic over to him, I just want to wish everybody a wonderful holiday season. Wonderful holiday season to come, and to even bigger and better things in the coming months and years. And as Nachum often gives me lessons in Hebrew and Yiddish on radio, sometimes live, let me wish everybody a Zisun Pesach, and of course, Chazak Be'amas.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you. I've been waiting to speak into a microphone since February 1st, 2010. I went to work for the city controller. First, I wanted to acknowledge the two detectives in the back who are protecting the city controller, who are supposed to be working without anybody knowing them. If you could give them a round of applause and embarrassment. That was good. I'm delighted to be here with the Shomrim. I'm out of practice. I wanted to say is that it really is a pleasure being here. I wanted to mention what an honor it's been to work for the best city controller that the city has had so far. Yes. You can do a little better than that. He does pay my salary. And just to prove that, I'm sorry? You got it right. I'm sorry? Yankel Daskal had a question. He'd like to come up. But regarding the comment that he made, I would appreciate being in the papers day in, day out for stories like the one he mentioned. I think that it's wonderful being here with the Shomrim. How many years has it taken for this? It's only taken 6 years to actually, is that true or more? It has to be more than that. And when I worked with the controller of the city council, this is something we worked on, and it's really a shame that it takes that long to get something done, but who said that? Okay. Well, you have no part of this. You owe them separately.
6 years from now.
The second command center is coming from you.
We'll be back in 6 years.
That's a commitment. In any
We call
case,
that an out-year commitment.
it's wonderful being here. I just wanted to say that in the city controllers, next to finally, that Bruce Rudolph, who's sitting here, is really the person behind the scenes, and if not for him, we would still be waiting. Is that accurate? So Bruce, can you stand up so we can embarrass you as well? And finally, I want to bring somebody up here. I mentioned to the controller that if there's one person in the room, that if it's possible that there's one person in the room that everybody loves, I don't know if that's possible, but if there's one person in the room that everybody loves and is responsible in part for everything and anything good that happens in the community, it's Nachum Siegel. I'd like to bring him up and present him with this award. But I won't read it to you again. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Simcha. How unusual for an event like ours to have even more thank yous to take care of. I want to acknowledge a very good friend and somebody who is well known for his amazing leadership role in our community, the Vice President of Maimonides Medical Center, Douglas Javelin. I've been asked to acknowledge the representative of Chaverim, Mr. Chaim Fleischer. Thank you. Williamsburg Coordinator Yossi Pollack, thank you. Ezra Friedlander, thank you. Mr. Edel Perlstein and Mr. Joel Eisdorfer, thank you. And Flatbush Coordinators Chaim Deitch and Bob Moskowitz, thank you. It was alluded to earlier, what an honor it is. Mr. Naftali Rosenberg, thank you. We got it? Okay. It was alluded to earlier what kind of honor it is for this distinguished gathering to have a member of the United States House of Representatives here today. I would add that it's a member of the United States House of Representatives who not only has been an amazing friend of our community and a fantastic fighter for our community and for New York City, but somebody who can always be relied on, and sure enough, he is here today to present a very special award to a group of great friends of Shomrim. Please help me welcome the Honorable Congressman Jerry Nadler.
Thank you very much, Malcolm. It's a great pleasure to be here to help celebrate the dedication and the ribbon cutting. I don't see the ribbon, but I assume it's somewhere around.
It's outside.
I assume we'll see the ribbon soon enough. The ribbon cutting for the Mobile Command Center for Shomrim. We all know, I'm not going to repeat everything about what a great organization Shomrim has been and is, what great assistance it gives to the police department, what great cooperation. I'll simply mention one thing. There are other communities in the United States that have auxiliary, whatever you want to call them, auxiliary public safety groups, etc., but none that function this way. We don't have problems here, such as the problem we just saw in South Florida, because we have an organized, disciplined, well-functioning organization that gives proper training, that affords people the means to help protect their community without providing any kind of danger to anybody. And that's a very, very important thing. And I want to say mazel tov to Shomrim and mazel tov to Yankee and to all the people who've helped arrange this over the years. Because it's very important for safety, it's very important for the community, and it's very important for Shalom Bayis that you don't have any of the other problems that could arise, but don't arise here. So that's a tribute to the people who run the Shomrim Society. It's a tribute to the people who participate and volunteer in it. And I'm glad that as a congressman I had the opportunity a number of years ago to help get Shomrim some of its first government support a number of years ago. Some chachamim in Washington have decided we shouldn't have member items anymore. We shouldn't have earmarks. So we can't do this kind of thing anymore. I hope that chachma will be done away with and that we'll be able to exercise our own judgment in our own districts again. And that will be viewed as an aberration, that somehow the executive branch is the repository of all wisdom, and that people elected by the people to represent them can't make these judgments. I think the people can and must, so that it's much easier to get your congressman or your councilman or your state assembly person to understand what's going on in the community than it is to get the deputy secretary or something other down in Washington to understand. So I'm glad we had that and I was able to help. And now I've been asked to do something very pleasant. I'm tasked with very pleasant tasks, and I'm asked to present this plaque, this congratulations and recognition to leadership of the Council of the City of New York for its help to the community and to Shomrim. And I see one councilman here, Brad Lander. It's my pleasure and delight to give this to Brad on behalf of the City Council, on behalf of to accept it on behalf of the City Council. It's been given on behalf of the Shomrim Society. And I want to thank Shomrim for giving me the opportunity to make this presentation.
I had the opportunity to speak earlier, so I'll be brief now. Let me just say, Bruce, it's an honor to accept this from Congressman Nadler, who has been a great friend to and fighter for this community and for our people both here and around the world. I'm accepting this on behalf of a much larger group of people. The friends in the New York City Council of Shomrim are many. The bar was set very high by Simcha Felder, to be sure, who was a constant fighter in the council for resources for the Shomrim that helped us what we're celebrating here today. You see we have a few obstacles. One is how long a bureaucratic process can be. A second is the pressure against member items altogether. So Councilmember David Greenfield, my partner in representing Borough Park, who has been a great friend to Shomrim, and I, and our finance chairman, Dominic Recchia, and our speaker have endured many attacks, and actually the New York Post specifically attacked us for our awards to Shomrim, which I find crazy. That's the same paper that many times recognizes the sacrifices that members are making every day on the streets, but we do need to remember that we have to stand up together and defend our ability, as Congressman Nadler said, to make sure that the people who are elected in communities, who see what you do every day, who not just see the big high-profile cases that make the newspapers, but the small ways in which the presence of Shomrim on the streets makes it safer for everybody in all kinds of ways that we can't even begin to tell. And if we want that, then we need to make sure we're standing up for it together, but I really appreciate this award to all of us.
The first thing I want to do is acknowledge and express the appreciation of this community and many communities throughout the city to the amazing work of the police commissioner of the city of New York and the NYPD in protecting the citizens of this great city. So thank you very much. And I think that being one of the last speakers, I just say ditto to all the things that have been said by people before me. I remember the Shomrim. I don't want to tell you how long we go back. When I remember on 13th Avenue when David Dinkins was the mayor, in the days when I actually spoke to David Dinkins, and we had a ceremony outside our office at 5212 13th Avenue, where people from our community, not the government, but people from our community contributed walkie-talkies. Remember walkie-talkies? There used to be walkie-talkies. And those were contributed to the bakery boys, who are the Shomrim. And that goes back a long time ago. And again, as has been pointed out, what you do every single day, some of what you do gets attention, and the whole world appreciates what you do, and how remarkable you all are. The dedication, the devotion, the chances you take. We've had that in the last year, literally endangering your lives. When you go out there to do the kind of things that you do, there's never certainty of anything. We've had members of Shomrim shot defending this community. So you're really the heroes. You are really the honorable. You know, your mail should be addressed honorable in each and every case because of what you do. So I can only say one thing on behalf of the entire community. Thank you for being so remarkable, for so dedicated, for being there, working with the New York City Police Department, working with the, really, as far as I'm concerned, the best precinct in the city of New York. And we're lucky, and I want him to stand up, the best commanding officer in the city of New York. tell you, representing this community for 30 years, I've gone through a lot of commanding officers. And I've been at functions like this, and there are very few people I refer to as the best. There are two others who I served with in this community, and I describe them as the best as well. One of them was Schignelli, who was amazing, and the other one is a guy you might have heard of. His name is Joe Esposito. These are remarkable individuals. And finally, I want to say to the elected officials, in particular to Simcha Felder, because we should not have to depend on a command center from any other community. We should have our own. We are a huge community, and I'm just absolutely thrilled. And sometimes, it just takes a long time for things to actually develop. And I just want to thank Simcha for doing something remarkable, because this is real. In the world of politics, we thank a lot of people, I say this all the time, who don't deserve the credit that the words we use. But this is real. There's a vehicle out there that will do amazing work in our community, that will save lives, that will make such a difference. And the person ultimately responsible for this huge effort was Simcha many years ago, and finally we have it outside here. So I want to thank you, Simcha, for that huge effort. And I just want you to know, I just came from, our place had a, what do you call it, runners. I actually ran over here from Floyd Bennett Field. I don't think anyone here believes me, am I correct? Okay, anyway, everyone here have a wonderful week, a safe week. And when you start the week, we always say, it should be a good week. Because last week was not such a good week. It started off, we said a good Tavach to everyone, a good week to everyone. And we woke up Monday morning to a horrible tragedy of literally little children, like our children, like my grandchildren, who were literally murdered, shot in the head because they are Jews, and a father who was murdered. So we can only pray to God and hope every single time to appreciate life, to be thankful, not to get into silly things, because life is so precious. So when we say it should be a good Tavach, as we say, it should be a good week, we all understand quite well what that means. So I wish you all a good Tavach, a good week. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doe. Please welcome the Director of Communications in the Office of the Brooklyn Borough President, John Paul Lupo.
Good morning, everybody. I am not going to speak. No speeches for me today. I just wanted to take 1 second, and I felt that I have to do this myself, is to acknowledge the police department who we work so hand in hand on a day-to-day basis, and I just wanted to make sure to mention everybody's names who took their time on a Sunday morning to come out here and to be with us as they always usually do. And I will start with the Inspector Robert Thurston from the Boro. Another person who was the commanding officer of the 66th precinct.
It's okay.
You are. And thank you so much. Thanks for everything since then. With him, Inspector Schultz from the Patrol Borough Brooklyn South. Lieutenant James Woods, the commanding officer of Community Affairs from the Patrol Borough Brooklyn South. Sergeant Ira Jablonski, who is doing everything about he's saying Yiddish from his father, and I personally have to, just because I'm standing on the mic again, Douglas is a person who, anytime, anything that Shomrim needs, unbelievable how he stands to our side. Thank you, Douglas, personally. And thank you, Sergeant Conti from the Borough, thank you so much. And another great friend, Detective Tommy Nail. We all heard in his own words, and again, I have to do this personally, our own inspector who got so much applause, and yes, he deserves it, deserves even much more, Inspector John Sprague. I can tell you this on a personal basis, through what we do and what the community needs. I unfortunately, and I hope we stay okay, but Saturday nights, Tuesday nights, middle of the day, middle of the night, vacations, anything, never ever did I have that he didn't pick up the phone call, and never ever did I have that he put down that phone and not took care of the problem right there and then. So Inspector, thank you so much from all of us. I'm not going to go through, and I know we're not going to mention, and the members got their applause and everything, and again, thanks everybody, but there is one member that I have to literally single out of everybody, because this is a member, first of all, he was probably one of the first members in Shomrim for so many years, but a guy who really wakes up, sleeps, thinks at any time, and a lot of his time he's not even around here in New York, but makes sure on a day-to-day basis and a minute-to-minute basis about the well-being of Shomrim, doing for Shomrim, taking care of Shomrim, and that's Unit 49, Moshe Shmir Rabenstein. Just walked in another great guest. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much. In about 5 minutes, we're going to go downstairs for the official ribbon cutting. But first, we have one more award, one more honoree to recognize this morning. A very good friend, as you heard earlier from some of our speakers, to present the final award of the morning. Please welcome Coordinator Yanki Daskal.
I'm sure you all want to know why they put me on to present for Bruce Rudolph the plaque. I'm responsible to sign the checks. Bruce.
They didn't read the ribbon cutting manual. Sir.